Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about my Hayabusa. It is a 2003 Suzuki Hayabusa that I purchased brand new on July 16th, 2003. It currently has about 56,000 miles on it. Let's see what it has. $56,667. Starting from the front, well, when I originally purchased the bike, it was a 2003 black and gray. And from the front, most of the things I've purchased, I've bought off of eBay. But not everything. Somewhere around 2004 or 5, I chromed it out. And it was still black and gray and chrome. So the chrome wheels have been on there with the chrome wheels, the chrome rider and passenger pegs have been on there for an easy 30, if not 40,000 miles. The wave rotors I purchased from eBay. I do most of the maintenance myself. I even take the wheels off so I can have tires mounted myself. The front shocks have been rebuilt because I blew the seals doing a wheelie. Shouldn't have been, well, I was having fun. Blew the seals, so it has heavier fork oil in it to accommodate my weight. The original the original rotors that came on the bike were warped from braking from high speed. And I never thought I would warp a set of rotors in a bike, but I was having too much fun. The rotors that's on it now and have been on for a while, I'll find out how many miles and see if I can find a date that I installed them. I also bought it with a rear wave rotor, also from eBay. I have not warped these rotors, but since I'm a little older, I don't ride like I used to. I still have fun, but not like I used to. My first time seeing a little bit of rust on a rear rotor right there. The muzzy pipe has been on this since approximately 2003 or early 2004. I have a power commander inside. But let me go back and work my way from the front to the back. The motor is stock. In some of the videos, you might hear second gear slip a little bit in one of my racing days. Let's see if I can get this open. When I was doing a little bit of street racing, just having fun, I messed up the dogs for second gear. So motor-wise, I have a power commander, stock motor. I do have some short velocity stacks from Snitz Racing. So I now have 4 short velocity stacks. I have a K&N air filter. A lot of the videos you'll see the gear indicator is from Boost by Smith, purchased from Boost by Smith. It unrestricts the booster, so it doesn't have the speed limiter or speed governor on it of 186 anymore. And this is back before every bike came from the factory with a gear indicator. So she's been around for a while. When I replaced the plastics with the Chinese fairings. I also replaced the turn signals. Smoked turn signals also from eBay. I've already done a review on the fairings. I'm not going to talk about those. The hand grips. Go to the other side where the sun is. Hand grips and levers, also from eBay. It's my third set of brake levers from eBay. The first set I bent up when I dropped the bike and broke them. So I ordered 2 more sets. I had blue in it before. Now I'm down to shorty levers, and those have been on there ever since I replaced the plastics, or the plastic. The router pegs, also from eBay. Now, they can screw off. That's why they are markings. So when I come out and do my morning check before I ride, or my daily check, pre-ride check, I check to make sure that the Sharpie markings have, and the pegs have not started to unscrew off. The seat cover. That is an easy 10 years old. A Gator seat cover, rider and passenger. I don't even know if it's still available, purchased off of eBay. And I installed it myself. It went over top of the original seats. Let me get this off. So I took both seats off. Just used a stapler and stapled the seat cover into place. Rider and passenger seat covers have been on this bike for an easy 10 years. When I had the rider and passenger pegs chromed, the gear shifter did not want to go back on the bike properly and work properly, so I ordered another gear shifter, or gear shift off of eBay. So that is a stock gear shifter with the pins and everything, so to function properly. I think I'm on my 3rd or 4th chain and sprockets. I meant to bring up my maintenance record. I keep really detailed maintenance records. The Stator cover. I also mentioned in a video, probably about, I think in 2016 when I started the YouTube channel. I just put that on shortly after I put the plastic on. Pretty much everything all the accessories and everything else have come from eBay. The chain guard, purchased used from eBay. I did have my tag on it at one point, and I was pulled over by a county cop who told me he couldn't see my tag. Let's see, I'm due for tires now. The Pirelli Angel GTs have served me well. They still have a little bit left on them. I'm debating on what will be my next set of tires. Whether I want to get another set of Pirellis, whether I'm going to do a different type of Pirelli. I've had 3 sets of Shinko 005 Advance on here. They work very well. They have extremely good traction in the rain. I've been caught in the rain several times in them. I've had to ride in the rain on a road trip at highway speed, and I was very confident with the Shinko Advanced 005 tires. That is pretty much my standard of what a tire should feel like in the rain. I will admit these Angel GTs are very good in the rain, if not maybe a little better. The frame, I had the frame polished right when I had the bike chromed. One of my friends hooked me up with a guy that was in Virginia, and I believe it's called Ashland, Virginia. We took the bike down, and he polished the frame and swing arm right there in front of me. It took him about 5 or 6 hours. Let's see. The turn signals, I think the turn signals on the back, rear turn signals came from Cycle Gear. I think they came from Cycle Gear. Cycle Gear or Heiser Cycle, one of the two. Nothing special, just off the shelf turn signals. Bolt them up, wire them up, and there you go. also have an air horn on the bike. It's my second air horn. The air horn sits just under the gas tank. It's from Harbor Freight. Had someone install it and wire it up for me. I like it because it just sounds different. It's better than a stock horn. I believe it's the Bad Boys air horn out of Harbor Freight. Fortunately, I've never had to see if the frame sliders actually work. I wanted to use the frame sliders that did not require any drilling of the plastic. There's a debate on whether or not you should or should not have frame sliders on your bike. If the bike just falls over if you go down, some people say that the frame sliders will cause the bike to catapult or high side into the air if it hits something or drag, or if it bend up and bend the bolt. It causes more problems than just replacing the plastic. They've been on there for about 5 or 6 years now. I haven't laid the bike down in a long time. So I've actually crashed 3 times, I believe. Let's see. I crashed 3 times. One time I crashed and I had no damage. Actually, I know I crashed. I had no damage. I actually called the communication center and let them know that if they receive some phone calls over some I crashed with a buddy of mine, that we're both okay and don't send anybody out. Not sure. I can't remember my second or third crash. The last crash, I broke my right leg. Failed to negotiate a turn. And I rode about 30 minutes home with a broken fibula right at my ankle. And I was in a cast for a while, as we all are when you break a leg. Whatever reason, I can't remember my second crash. I can only remember two crashes at speed. My first one, I ran off the road. I was with a buddy doing about 35, 40 miles an hour. Crest the hill. The front end was light. The front end actually was off the ground. I came over the hill. I had to wait for the front tire to touch down. Once the front tire touched down, someone in front of us would cause a crash. On a 2-lane road, 1 lane going, 1 lane coming. They stopped for no reason. And there was a pickup truck coming. So my options were to hit this pickup truck head on, run into the trunk of this car, or to ride into someone's yard. So I took the yard, rode into the grass. The front tire lost traction. I lost the front end, laid the front down. I kicked off the bike and slid through the grass. My buddy was right behind me, and he followed me right into the grass. My second crash was on Route 619, and I mentioned it in a text in the video about Route 619, the corner with the 15-mile-per-hour sign. Well, back then there was only one sign going one way, and coming back the other way there was no sign, and I failed to negotiate the turn. I figured I'd just run off the road, but I couldn't. There was a rut in the ground. Caught my foot, twisted my right foot around backwards, and it snapped back around. And then I hit the ground. So I think I pretty much covered everything for the bike. I am most proud of how many miles I have on it and how good she looks. I kept the stock mirrors on the bike in the event that if I do crash or lay it down, I want certain things to be functional. The mirrors will fold back instead of breaking off or bending the fairing stay. I had original router pegs on the bike until I wore the rubber off, and it was about to fall off because of just wear and tear. I had the LED turn signal in the rear, where you eliminate the turn signal lights, and your brake light and your left and right turn signals all built into the rear tail light. Until I was at a bike night one night, and my LED rear tail light went out, so I had no tail light, no brake light. I had nothing. I had to ride home with nothing behind me. So one of my buddies had to ride behind me. So now I keep the stock light because it has 2 bulbs. If one bulb blows, I still have a brake light, and I just use some generic turn signals. If I ever run into some disposable money, I like to have the motor built up to have 200 horsepower at the rear wheel.